never mind. I was not a part of the stream. Haha. So let's try this again, shall we? Let's see. Incredible greetings, everyone. How are you guys doing? I know it's a little bit off as far as the time. I'm normally on a lot earlier, or I'll end up waiting till later, but I do plan to leave and go home earlier, well, today, like on time, not really sticking around later in the evening for a live video today. So I figured I'd come on because I do see, some of you guys are still very much so active on social media right now, which means you guys are available to get on. And if you have any questions, to be able to ask those questions. All right, let me see. I'm trying to get to this so I can change. I change the privacy on this. So now I just have to find it so I can share it out. But hello, everyone. Welcome in. Thank you guys so very much for joining me. Ooh, it's about to rain. Uh-oh. What happened here? I'm definitely going to get out of here in a timely manner because it's about to pour down raining. And I don't want to get caught in that. So, maybe a quick fire, maybe a good 30 minutes of Q&A is what we are going to shoot for that way. Because I hear thunder, but I don't see clouds. So hopefully 30 minutes won't put me in the midst of the storm. All right. But hello. Incredible greetings, everyone. I'm always excited to get on and teach and answer questions. I really do miss the days where I used to do this every single day, almost several times a day. I actually do miss those days. I know it's not feasible for everyone to watch every single time, which is why I used to go live so much, because everyone has different schedules. And I know there's some things that there's also some things that I needed to do for our business as well. But I really miss like doing these sessions on a regular like this. So here we are. All right. I'm still trying to share this out. Hold on one second. Uh-oh, hold on one second. Do. Okay, hold on. Almost there. Okay, let's go ahead and copy that and then post and then paste and post and paste and share, paste, share, story, and share. Ooh, hold on. Okay, excuse me. All right, there we go. All shared out. So with that being said, let's get into this. Hello, everyone. How art thou? Welcome in. Incredible greetings, incredible afternoon. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you. Ooh, that's a bit of a delay. Thank you, thank you, thank you, guys. All right, so let's go ahead and get this intro started. I am Shakia, the professor of HSINK365. We are the home of the Honestly Speaking brand of products. We carry the absolute best sublimation ink and paper. Our paper allows you to sublimate as low as 365 degrees, as fast as 30 seconds. Our ink bottles are 140 milliliters, and you get absolutely amazing colors in very efficient times, way lower than the industry standards for most things. So definitely check out our website, shop.hsink365.com. That's where you're going to find all of our products, as well as access to all of my trainings that I have taught over time, and the ones that we have active and live right now. Hosted through 365 Creative Academy. All right, I am your resident Silhouette Studio expert. So I know a lot about the software when it comes to designing and figuring it out. Your printers, whether you are using them for sublimation, regular printing with pigment ink, dye ink, or if you converted it for eco solvent. The DTF side, I mean, printers are printers and I can help, but that's not really my lane. I don't have any printer here that's set up with DTF. I don't print my own DTF. I order the transfers, but I've done a lot of research on the process. So if you ever have questions on that, feel free to go ahead and ask those. You know, if it's about designing and setting up your gang sheets, you can ask that. I'm also a brand strategist and just business strategist in general for those who are in the creative business. So I'm able to answer questions that you may have in regards to your business, areas that might need a little improvement, might need a little bit of guidance. So don't hesitate to ask those questions also when it is an open Q&A session. This particular one is streamed on all of my platforms, so the Silhouette ones, as well as my Honestly Speaking platforms, which is like just for general information and general talk. So do not hesitate to post your question, no matter what side of this, like where it falls at on the spectrum of the things that I am a subject matter expert in. Okay. Sorry, I thought I had uh-oh. Okay, so that was a comment from someone else. All right, so let's see. Where are we at over here? So, incredible afternoon. Now, whenever I do these sessions, they are question driven. I take the time to plan out a lot of classes, and there are times where I will plan out a live video, like if it's something, you know, in particular that I really want to share, because I still have to do those videos as well, that ones that people will watch. Like it's just straight to the point. But most times when I'm doing these videos, they are question driven. I don't come in prepared with any type of teaching or any type of agenda. I'm here to help you guys where you need help at, based off of maybe a recent YouTube search or TikTok search, or just search in general for information. I do this so that you can get help from someone who is an industry expert in real time. So if we have questions, it's going to be an amazing session. If there are no questions, it's going to be a very short, not so informative session. All right. So you guys determine the pace of this session and how helpful it is based off of your questions. You do not have to wait until one question is fully answered before you can post yours. I know we might be tempted to just kind of listen in and not want to be distracted by typing your question in. So that's why I encourage you, like, as soon as the live comes up and you see that it's a general Q&A, if you have that question, go ahead and type it out. But you don't have to wait. I typically tend to go through the comments, and it doesn't have to be like a specific question. Like maybe you are in the process of like researching, you just want to know my thoughts and views on something, you can post that inquiry as well. Okay. Oh, something flashed over there. I was like, what the world? Hold on. All right. Hopefully they will email me because I don't really know what they're looking for. I can't really answer that question. So that's one of the things too. Like sometimes when it comes to like a design question, there can be so many like solutions or reasons why something is happening. So I try to get as much information as possible. And if there is a visual attached to it, it makes it so much easier to kind of pinpoint what the issue is and what the solution will be. So sometimes like know that I'm not trying to like avoid it, but like avoid helping you. But I will ask a lot of questions because I want to kind of get as many of the questions out like in like on the front end as possible so that I can go and kind of analyze that and just give you the direct answer instead of us going kind of like back and forth. Because I'll give you a general answer and it's like, okay, but I've already done X, Y, and Z, or it's doing this, and we have to do the back and forth. So I typically tend to ask as many questions as possible just to get a better understanding of exactly what your issue is whenever you guys are posting questions. Okay. All right. Well, I don't see. I would hate to have to go in and delete this from all the groups because I already shared it all out. But I don't see any questions being posted right now. So I'll give you guys a few minutes. And I mean, like, let's see, right now it is 4:32. So if no questions pop up by 4:33, 4:34, I'll go ahead and I will just end the live video because I don't want you guys just to see it. Like I said, I don't come onto these types of sessions prepared with any type of information. That's normally reserved for a paid class, so where I'm going to go and have a whole lesson plan planned out, normally for a class. But I am here to help because I understand that not everyone is able to attend one of my classes. So if I can provide you some type of value in this free on this free platform, I like to do that because contrary to what popular belief, this is still kind of doing it for free. You don't really make as much. It don't make a living wage depending on like how many videos you do and like the view counts and all that stuff. And on Facebook, on my Shaquille Bell platform, that profile, I get paid nothing. So yeah, it is 100% technically like free. All right, I'm not guaranteed any compensation for me coming on to actually help. Okay. Do I have a video on print and cut? I do. I have several of them on print and cut. Now, there's a couple factors when it comes to that. It depends on which machine you are using. It also depends on whether or not one of the factors, should I say, is whether or not you are using a silhouette mat or a non-silhouette mat, because Cricut mats are not set up the same way as silhouette mats. You have to do a little something extra when it comes to that. And then it's like, what issues are you having with print and cut? Is it that you just want to know about print and cut in general, how to set it up, how to turn your registration marks on, how to do your settings? Or are you actually having issues with your print and cut and things being off? So I have several videos on that. One just kind of going over my settings. Then I've done another one, like if you're getting a lot of white lines, I've gone over that. It may not be anything that you're doing wrong, but the image itself and how you did your trace and detach and what is like left behind. So you may have to use your edit points to refine that cut line. So there's quite a bit when it comes to print cuts, and I have tons and tons of videos. So if you have a specific question, I'll be more than happy to help you in getting the answers to that particular question. Where do we download the files for the 30-day class? So they are in your dashboard. So each one of them, like under each day, there is like I guess you would say, like it says like a lesson, and it will have your download there. Not every single session has a download that goes with it, because some of the sessions, it's what's on the program. So there didn't need to be a separate worksheet, but on your dashboard, all of that is there. Okay, I have a Silhouette Plus, a 15-inch mat. My cuts are always off. So when you say off, like, is it a little bit? Is it just not cutting in the right spot at all? Is it just shifted a little to the right, left, or like up or down? Um, the 15 is a little bit different for me because of the fact that we're using the 15-inch mat. Because if you look at the mat, it's really only 14 inches wide and then 15. And I think you have to like put it in a certain spot. I think it might be like offset. It's kind of weird. Like those newer machines, they really didn't do like a lot of videos from Silhouette America about, utilizing those for print and cuts and stuff like that, when their mats are made totally different. All I can do is just kind of go through the steps that I do, as far as print and cut. Now, where you line it up at and all that stuff might be a little bit different, because I think one of the machines, like all of the other 12-inch machines, there's only one line. I think the Plus only has one line as well. I think it's the Pro that has two lines, and people always get confused on where to put their mat at. Hello, Professor. First, I want to thank you for what you do. This is a new space for me, and your videos are God sent. Thank you. You are very welcome, and I thank you for that feedback. It's always nice to know how you are impacting a community as far as like the creative community. So for you, as far as new space, is it that just designing? Is it just being kind of creative and crafty is a new space for you, or is it the business side that's a new space for you? I have a question regarding the rhinestone panel. I have business edition and I'm unable to replace the stones in a design to a different color within the panel. So whenever you are doing, let me go ahead and just open up now and start my screen share. When it comes to changing the colors, you have to do that from like the color, like your color palette. It's not going to be anything within the rhinestone one other than the advanced rhinestone, which I don't recommend using the advanced rhinestone. It makes the stones like not really tight. So I never really recommend using the advanced rhinestone panel. But for the regular, the standard one, you set your colors from your color palette, not in the panel itself. And if you're wanting to do like different colors, you cannot do it while it is like where you can still edit your stones. Okay. So I'm going to just make a duplicate of this and we're going to make this green. I'm going to come down here to the rhinestone panel and I'm just going to fill it in like this. And then you will see, and if I take the line color off, you're going to see the circles, right? And if you come up here, you're able to change those. Now, if you're trying to change a section of stones or circles, you cannot just do that like and just kind of, let's say, like do half and half, whatever, with the different color stones. One, this pretty much just represents, like, I mean, you can, like, if you want to visualize it, but it's going to cut all those circles the same. So if you were wanting to separate them for different colors of like the design, you would have to separate them. And then you would do that by releasing it. And then once you release it, the stones become individual. And then you can select, see, now I have all these boxes. So if I wanted to, I can select up to here. I can select, hold down shift and go into here and then change those colors. But you have to release it. But once you release it, it's no longer that shape. So you can't go in and adjust it anymore. Nope. See, a lot of people end up doing that. That's why that day one of my 30-day training is so important, because I really break down like what are the benefits and the features of the upgrades. A lot of people think, well, I'm going to go to business edition. It's going to give me the world. And that's not really the case. It releases certain features, but it does not improve anything. So if you already had the rhinestone function from having designer edition, getting designer plus or business edition does not make the regular rhinestone feature tool operate any better. It doesn't give you anything additional. Same thing for tracing. None of the paid upgrades affect or make doing a regular trace any better. Now they do add trace by color and the magnet trace, which those are kind of spotty and iffy anyway, but just the regular trace and using your threshold, using your scale, things like that, how it works in the free version is exactly how it works in the business, designer plus, or designer editions. You don't get anything extra with it. And that is a really, really big misconception, that people think that once they pay for it, they're going to be able to do more with the feature that's available in a version underneath it. And that's not the case. Hey, just saying. And I'll be also totally honest. Silhouette Studio's Rhinestone feature is a great starting point if you're going to do more simplistic things because of how the stones kind of fall. I've watched a lot of tutorials and like people do demos on the rhinestone feature, and or they'll make their shirts, they're creating a rhinestone template, and you have some designs that are so spotty and kind of patchy and areas really don't fill in. I am one who loves math and science. So when it comes to these stones, we have to remember that those circles are meant to be a specific size. So if in a certain section, like there's not enough space to fill in all those stones, and you've chosen for it to just be linear where it can't like just mix them in and put them wherever, you're going to have areas where it's going to be very, very spotty. Like you really have, like there is a perfect dimension or perfect size for certain elements so that your stones fit in nicely and that you don't have all these gaps. But I see so many content creators where they're just going to hit the button. They might adjust the spacing a little bit. Sometimes they'll add some stones in, but for the most part, Silhouette Studio by itself, like just clicking on it, you will end up having a lot of like spotty areas depending on the size. So you have to, yes, you may have wanted a 10-inch wide like design, right? So let's say if I wanted ink to go across, and I'm thinking, okay, I want it to be 10 inches. But if I do 10 inches in certain areas, I might be missing some stones. So I might need to make that 10.3, 10.5, or I might even need to make it just a little bit smaller. So I might not really have it at 10. I might need to go down to like 9.875, something like that, so that the stones fit a little bit better. I don't know if that makes sense. It's a science. It really is a science to it. And Silhouette Studio's rhinestone function is more of a stepping stone. Like it's just kind of to get you started. There are more like commercialized softwares that are going to be ideal for those who are really making a business out of it. If it's still kind of it's just one of the little things that I do and it's not a major portion, if you're not doing major transfers and like big orders with it, you can get away with using Silhouette Studio. But I really recommend, if you're serious about stones, is to look into softwares like the Rhinestone World, which the same will apply, but their system will kind of help you adjust for certain things like that. Yep, I had that with some people's rhinestone templates. You can make good ones, but it takes a lot of moving by hand. And a lot of people don't like to do that. They want to just click the button and then it's like, all right, cool, I got a rhinestone template. Let me sell this. I can always tell when someone has taken their time on a rhinestone template and when they just kind of click the button. and just maybe adjusted the spacing on it. Any other questions? Like I said before, you don't have to wait for one question to be done with before you ask the next. While I'm waiting for you guys to formulate your questions, I am going to send out an email later today. But one of the announcements I also wanted to make within this one is tomorrow's Tuesday, and technically it's supposed to be day 1 of week 3 of our summer school, which is the sublimation emphasis on apparel and drinkware. However, we are experiencing some issues with the HVAC system here, and I don't want to take the chance like it was off and then now it's kind of like on. I think everything defrosted. I live in Miami right now. Everything is working like overtime, and we're having some issues. So until they can really come in to look at it, I'm going to postpone the sessions because it gets really hot in here. And being the fact that this is a week where we are going to use the heat press, I'm not trying to be like on Saturday, I was in here sweating. So my camera stayed on my table or it was on the computer because I was in here sweating because of the HVAC system. So an email will go out. We're waiting for to get the word and the appointment for them to come in. So this week's sessions will be postponed. I'm going to actually end up pushing everything back. So this week and also the last week, which is print on demand. Okay. Let's see. I just want to say hi. Wait, say that I think you're awesome at what you do. Thank you, Pat. This has nothing to do with silhouette. This live is not just about silhouette. So it's an open Q&A. So feel free to post your questions. But my question is, how would you find a design on Creative Fabrica? I was looking for 2 hands, a holding knitting needle so I can put on a t-shirt. So here's the thing, right? I'll still say we, right? We tend to think that an idea that we have has already been created exactly how we picture it in our mind by someone else. So it is easier to want to go and look for it in hopes that someone has had this same idea, which kind of, goes to the theory that there's nothing new under the sun. Everything is a recreation of something. Someone's thought of all of this stuff and people just kind of repurpose it. So sometimes you may not be able to find exactly what you're looking for because no one has created, no one had that specific thought. Or maybe someone did have that thought, but it doesn't mean that that file is going to live within the files of Creative Fabrica. It might be that you have to do a deep dive onto Etsy. Yes, I know it would be great to find everything that we want on Creative Fabrica because we pay a month, we pay the annual subscription or a monthly subscription and it's unlimited downloads. That would be the ideal scenario, but that's not always the case, which is why I push so much to teach people how to design versus just pulling images. So you might be able to find an SVG of a hand and find it of the needle, or even one that's like maybe it's just one-sided, and then knowing how to trace it, how to modify and edit it. You may have to create what you are visualizing because it just might not be on any platform. I'm a long searcher, so once you put in those keywords, because most times they put tags on there. If you're putting in those keywords and you're just simply not finding it, most likely it does not live on that platform. Same goes for when you see designs online. If you see them in a group and it's like, man, can someone help me find this SVG? Can someone help me find this file? I see that all the time. And just because someone created something and it's their product, you're not going to be able to find it all the time because they're not going to sell it. I have tons of files that no one will ever be able to actually buy that file. I created it and customized it for myself. So don't do understand that you won't always find a ready-made file. Okay, so I'm starting to feel like the crafting world is starting to get oversaturated with people making the same things. I see that you are doing some different things with foam boards and bows. If you were a newbie, where would you focus today? Okay, so I am a firm believer that there's no such thing as oversaturation, because there's a lot of people in the world, and one or two people, 100 people, 1,000 people, 100,000 people can't service everybody. There's always an opportunity to carve out your own audience, right? I guarantee if you were to walk within a 2 mile radius, or even not even say 2 miles, let's just say walk to 2 blocks, north, east, south, and west, there's going to be someone who doesn't know anyone. Like, you don't even have to try and sell to them. Just simply ask a question. Do you know of of someone that does prints or custom shirts, and just see what they say, because you're gonna find that there's some people that have never had to think about getting a custom shirt or a tumbler. They don't even know that's out there. All they know is what's available when they go into a store or when they go online to like Amazon and places that they know. They don't know that you exist. So I never believe that something is oversaturated unless it is like really in one area. And we can be blinded by seeing, like, we can be confused in being in these craft groups, where there are hundreds of thousands of people. So that craft group, if it was if it was the case where everyone in that group was trying to sell to each other, then we can have the argument that it is oversaturated. But when you're there and it's just a collective of people, and they're not in the same city as you, not in the same town as you, not in the same state as you, not even in the same country as you, we can't really say that it's oversaturated. It just seems that way based off of who we interact with and engage with online. So we might be seeing a lot of that on our feeds. If you are actively searching for craft things on TikTok, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, it's going to seem oversaturated, but there is an audience for everyone. I mean, one would say that for me, like, oh, well, it's an overly saturated market for sublimation ink and sublimation paper. It's oversaturated for classes, but people don't teach like me. There isn't paper out there. I'm going to say, well, there's no paper that's being advertised and marketed the way that we do ours. People like the fact that they'll see me do demos, and I'm not wasting a lot of time lint brushing. I'm not using a whole bunch of tape. I'm not using a whole bunch of butcher paper. So I'm saving on resources. I'm keeping our electricity bill down because I don't have to go all the way up to 400 degrees. I don't have to spend time here sublimating things 60 seconds each. I'm able to get it done in half the time. So although there are other companies, some people gravitate to companies because of where they can get them from. They like the thought of getting it from Amazon. It might be the price. You just have to find your audience. Now, the second part of that, if I had to start all over again, where would I start at? I would probably start the same place that I did. I am one where before I got into like monetizing this, and I think maybe that's also the issue sometimes is a lot of people went into this immediately thinking about how to monetize it. And then we use this term like turn your passion into profit. But for a lot of people, it was never a passion that turned into a profit. So when the profits are not there, we get kind of discouraged. But for me, I'm like, I enjoy doing this, whether I made money or not. And I think I took a track of what was kind of what interests me, and what was, I'm gonna say like once I added other things, it was like what's the easiest? Because when I got into sublimation, I did not, even though I see all of the great shirts, I did not jump into wanting to do all over shirts. Hell, I didn't want to do shirts then. I still don't want to do shirts. I'd rather sublimate hard substrates. I really don't want to do a lot of like fabrics and things like shirts and stuff because of the lines of demarcation. If you're not doing it full out, I don't really want to do it. So I would still do it the same way where I'm team small. I advocate for smaller items all the time. My interest going into this was to create things for events. So that was a lot of paper crafting, creating a lot of 3D elements, using foam board. It's what I'm doing for foam board, and you're saying it's things that are new. That's new to you. I've been working with foam board and working with foam since 2000 and I've been heavy on it since about 2011, 2010. Me see, because my niece was born 2014. So, but when MJ, I had MJ 2011 for his birthday. I had for his birthday, his baby shower. I used a lot of styrofoam. And that was like 2010. I think that's when I really got into it. But I was doing it even before that. So it's not something that is new to me. Actually, probably even before that, because I want to say, I'm trying to think, what did I end up doing like even before I met my husband? Like, so yeah, maybe like foam board stuff and cutting that, probably 2005, somewhere in there. Like, it's been a long time. I don't think I got into the foam board stuff until after once I left Korea and like the military and stuff like that. But I was into like the invitations and designing, and that is what interests me. So I got into that. I was introduced to this because of a graphics designing class. So I liked the world of like screen printing and creating screens. I liked when I was in class doing like film development, but once I got out, like it was cool doing it in class because we had a dark room. Where the hell am I gonna put a dark room at? In my dorm room for the military, in my house? So that wasn't something that continued for me, but it was always interest. I like photography, so I'll shoot and I like taking pictures, but I just don't develop myself. I'm gonna take that ish to at the time it was like taking it to like Walmart's 1 hour development or Walgreens and stuff like that. But I do like taking pictures. So it just really depends on what your goals are and what you're doing. And I always say start small. Don't try to jump on every single thing. I know I miss out on trends sometimes and what is trending because I'm adamant on working on and perfecting what I already do to where I can miss out on trending things. One more question about my Epson Workforce 7720. I'm about to throw it out the window. I changed the print head about 3 months ago and the printer was working fine. However, all of a sudden I lost color. So I replaced the cartridges. I continue to have issues. I have primed, clean, done it all, but I can't anymore. Do you have any suggestions with this beast? Well, being the fact that you've messed around with changing out the print heads, I now cannot really say because I don't know if you compounded the issue by changing out the print head. If you did yourself, if you're not really skilled, I don't know how skilled or not skilled you are in that area. But now that you have changed the print head, I can make a lot of suggestions, but if something else happened due to you changing out that print head completely and unscrewing things and doing this and doing that, my suggestions may not help. Because of course, for me, it's always like the first thing is like pushing the air and forcing the whether it's cleaning solution or ink through and just kind of figuring it out from there. And then worst case scenario, it is changing out the print head. But now it doesn't seem like your issue is anything that's going to be an easy fix, like through how I teach with pushing air or changing out the cartridges or priming. It now seems like it is a real, this needs to be troubleshot. This needs to be maintenance type situation. And of course, I can't really do that through here. It's taking, because I've taken a printer apart before. So it's like taking it apart, checking certain things to see what's really going on. And then if it becomes an issue of something within the motherboard where it's just not communicating to fire off all of those channels, then there's really nothing that you can do unless you know how to fix the motherboard. I keep making gifts for people. They aren't asking for a gift. I make more gifts than selling products. How can I turn it around? Stop making gifts. And if they're not, they aren't asking for a gift, if that's what you continue to do, that's all they're going to see you as, is just someone who's going to make this and hey, you're just going to gift it. Like I might, why do I want to order it? She's going to probably gift it. So if you're wanting to turn around to where you're selling more, you got to stop. You got to slow down on the amount of gifts that you give out, or be very selective with that. You're going to need to promote more that you are doing this for, like, for monetary gain. You have to communicate that in your messaging on social media, with when you're coming across people and you're talking about what it is that you do. Don't talk about it as if it's a craft. Everybody knows on the when I first started this, it was more so teaching on like the craft side. I have evolved in this because it, especially once the pandemic hit, there were people who were looking to turn this into a business and turn what they do into a business. Although it was always a business for me, I taught from more of a crafting standpoint where you're not going to make any money off of it. You're doing it out of a love, out of a passion, out of necessity for dealing with, anxiety or whatever reasons you have for doing it, that it just was not monetary gain. But now I speak a lot more on the business side. Like I end up transitioning to be a business, for lack of a better word, coach, business mentor, business professor. I think my TikTok now says startup business professor. So coming from that aspect, if you keep calling it crafting, and you might say craft business, to the average consumer, they put no value on that. You making a shirt and putting a design on a shirt is no different than Nike, Adidas, Moulin Rouge, Milano de Rouge, for anyone putting graphics on a shirt. The only difference is going to be where they might have a dedicated factory that's making items for them and labeling it. But never are you going to hear them say, I have a craft business. My multi-million dollar, multi-billion dollar company is a craft business. I'm crafting these shirts. You're never going to see a company like, we're not the only ones that, crafters aren't the only ones that bling shoes. You can go into any store and there's going to be blinged out shoes. There's going to be studded shoes. Red bottoms, they have studded shoes. They didn't say that, oh, that's our little craft business with that. It's a business. It's about how you communicate it to others. So if you are continually saying that this is just me crafting and it's a craft business, that is how people are going to treat you. If you continue to just give it away as gifts, that is how they're going to see you, and they're never going to respect you as a business. You have to demand that respect as a business. Awesome. I'm always down for a meetup. Go ahead and send us a message. You can text the business line or send us an email. I'm always down for a meetup. All right. So I don't see any other questions posted right now. And it's also almost time to go get the kitties. Hold on. I had to reply back to someone who called me. So, um, where do I send the message? I reached out to you last year, but so I mean, we have it on our website. So you can send us a message, like go to our website, shop.hsink365.com. You can also email me at the professor at hsink365.com, or you can give us a call on the business line 754-333-0335, which is also listed at the bottom of our website, shop.hsink365.com. How do you find the classes? How do I find the classes I pay for? I haven't been working on anything for over a year's time. If it is a class that you purchased while, like, since we moved, like since we did our academy, our online academy, whether when it was Silaholics Anonymous Academy or now it's been branded as 365 Creative Academy, you just go to your dashboard. So you're going to go to courses.365creativeacademy.com, or you can just Google search 365 Creative Academy, like the numbers 365 Creative Academy. You're going to log into your account. It's going to be on your dashboard. If you purchase classes before the pandemic, when we did not have the Academy platform, we sent out an email saying, hey, we're switching over. There's no longer any support on this. We recommend that you download all of these classes because you're able to download them because they were in a share drive. If it's any of those, if those classes are not on our Academy site, there's nothing that I can do. But if you sign up for anything that's on the Academy site, it's going to be there for you. Just log into your account. How old are the kids now? I remember you doing classes sitting on the couch, very pregnant. Makai Jeremiah is 12 and Zion Imani is 5. Me as well. All right, and I'm actually about to go pick them up from camp. So I'm just going to go over here real quick. If you are interested in any classes, you can head over to shop.hsink365.com. We have the summer school. Our Sublimation one was scheduled to start on tomorrow, but we're going to push it back because the HVAC system here is acting wonky. So you can sign up for the full summer school or just the individual session. We have ones like this was grad fans, but it works for regular fans as well, like just like learning about the design stuff. The stoles, pricing for profit. If you're in business and you're struggling with pricing, I'm telling you, you need this particular training. You need that training. Check your emails as well. An email was sent out. If you're on our mailing list, an email was sent out and you just might have a little discount code. And then we have Photoshop, Foundations of Designing, where you're really learning about how to create your own designs and find your creative voice when it comes to designing. Photoshop Essentials is breaking down the basics of Photoshop, how most people within this industry will use it, and how to utilize those tools to create some amazing designs. I have to remove this. I keep forgetting to remove this. The superhero face switch up, creative designing crash course, where we went through like 10 days. So it was like, I would say 7 different types of design techniques. And I taught you how to do those concepts. And so there's a lot of different classes on here. Definitely check them out. After a while, they do go away. I put them in. I'm not that one. Hey, once they're gone, they're gone. So be sure to get them. And if they're about to be gone, they normally go like on a steep discount, and hey, they're gone forever. But definitely check out the website and see what classes will work best for you. Okay. All righty. I am out of here. Got to go pick up the kitties. Until next time, guys, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be incredible. Peace.